Hey guys, just a reminder before we start the videos to like and subscribe so we can keep providing these great videos for you.
Thank you very much for coming. That's very serious. I know that's a long way, and I know that you're taking very seriously your channel. And in my head, this is a very important event, and that's the fact that I want you here because you're gonna meet a bunch of great people. You're gonna have to race with Maurizio Ferrari. Actually, you're lodging with Maurizio Ferrari.
I am lodging with Maurizio. Yeah, that's for another podcast.
This is another podcast. You got an Airbnb with Maurizio. That's pretty cool.
We have. It's cool. It's
really
really cool.
We saw some prototypes firsthand. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's one I'm missing. There's one I haven't been spoken about yet. So that's keeping a secret till Sunday.
Before I talk about you, is the story what you were expecting about it?
Better.
Better?
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. I've watched all your podcasts. I think we landed Wednesday night, and the first thing we did is drive straight here. Yeah. FYI, if you are coming to LA, don't get in the car with Mark.
Oh, come on!
But no, I was blown away. It's
fucking Christ. It's last year we have the museum tour, and it took 2 groups in a van, like 10 people, 12 people in a van.
And you drove it?
Yeah, I drove it. And they don't have any memory from the museum. They just talk about my driving.
The driving was that good, was it?
Some people were, I was in the middle seat. I said, it was fine. I was in the corner, just like, oh my God.
No, your driving's okay. And I walked in and, mate, it's impressive. It's impressive. You run a good shop.
Cool, right?
Well, yeah, it's beyond cool. Yeah. And I haven't stopped smiling since I've been here. So
yeah, that's true.
But if I'm being honest, I am taking some ideas back to Australia.
That's good. That's okay. That's why you're here, open for everybody. Everybody who walks in and asks for a tour. That's no secrets here.
It
is to our defense. It is the biggest inventory in the road, so it's kind of easy to put like a showroom like that.
Yeah.
We have today almost 2,500 cars on display. Yeah, and that's not even 20% of the different models we have.
Cars. There's some cars in there that it's incredible.
Oh, yeah, that's stuff that you're not gonna find anywhere. And that's what people don't realize. Sometimes I see people paying twice as much as on eBay for a rare car. Yeah. And we have it here for still the original retail price.
It's
and again, of course, there's cars. We sell some Carrera cars for over $300 and some Slot.it cars for over $300. Yeah. And it's hard too. But those are the rare of the rare you can find anywhere.
Well, I think my warning to anyone that comes here is bring the wallet because there's a lot.
Bring the wallet.
There's a lot of stuff. But no, I'm impressed. I'm thankful. First, before we even get into it, a massive thank you to yourself and Electric Dreams because.
And it's Slot.it paying your lodging.
Definitely Slot.it. Slot.it. It's just. Who would have thought Slot Cars would have brought me to LA? So, mate, thank you. I'm still smiling. Yeah, I haven't slept, but I'm still smiling.
And I'm sorry for being such a short trip. LAX 312 Segundo, slot cars all around. You didn't see the Hollywood sign. You didn't see anything.
I don't think I need to.
But on Monday we can take a tour. So, what time are you leaving on Monday?
I don't remember. But I think it's afternoon. So
in the morning we can do something. I'll be sore for this, but
the sign on the wall is my Hollywood right there. So I'm very happy to. It's good. We've been busy, so
we'll go around a little bit in the van.
In the van. Can I drive?
You can drive the van. I've told you to drive the van. Everybody drives the van. Maurizio was using last year.
Well, maybe I'll do some B-roll in the van.
B-roll in the van. But tell me about your story, like behind. I'm. Like we know, there's a bunch of people who have YouTube channels. There's only a handful of very strong YouTube channels, and you're the one of the very strong ones. Yep. But start to tell me about your interest in slot cars. Like when did it started? I don't want to go. When I was a kid, I got a set from my father. I want to have like a short story on how you get so involved in this. Because I know that you have a completely different past.
Yes.
Some chat that we've been doing, and I don't know that you ever opened this on your channel.
No. Yeah. We've spoken before, you and I.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't want to get into the details because I want you to. Bottom line, I wanted to see some crying today. So get ready to cry.
I'm in Hollywood, so should I try my acting? Where's that water bottle?
Oh, when I was young, I got my slot car set. I got crushed.
I guess, a lot of our stories are very similar. I won't go too far into the childhood thing, but you do. I think your first love is when you see it as a kid, on TVs, commercials back in Australia.
Maurizio wants to come in. Come in. Let's go. We should bring Maurizio. I don't know. Yeah, Maurizio is looking for something to have here. It's the third time that he got in the window. What is he looking for?
Maurizio lost his phone.
Oh,
that's
Maurizio. Classic me.
That's Maurizio. How's he got his computer though?
That's a Marco move.
That's a Marco move.
I lost my phone 5 times a day.
People
call me. Oh, you don't pick it up. I don't even know where it is.
At least you didn't leave your stuff at the restaurant, so that's okay.
He left the stuff at the restaurant, right? we left at the first night. Your first night here, right? Night. And then you have to come back
we
and
have to
go
back. Yeah. Again, that's for another podcast. Maybe we should do a joint one day, me and Maurizio, because we've got some stories to tell.
I'm sorry. I already have like 20 people pissed because I've been interrupting you. Let's start again. I'm gonna close off my mic.
Okay, so I guess, look, without going to the childhood thing, I didn't really have slot cars as a kid, but I was very interested in slot cars. We had a lot of commercials in the 80s and the 90s, and of course, HO was really big back in the day. So I think my first passion was definitely slot cars. That's one of the things I remember when I was a kid that I really wanted. And as we move through life, you get jobs, and then you can sort of buy the stuff that you might not have had as a kid. I think when it comes to collecting, I've always been a collector of a lot of things. Video games, I'm a huge I had a massive, before moving to Austria, which I guess we'll talk about that later on, but I had a very extensive retro video game collection in my man shed back at home, or the slot shed. Retro toys, die-cast cars, and then of course car racing, which I couldn't afford to do, but I think the slot cars sort of is the easy way into getting into sort of small scale racing. But no, I didn't have the slot cars as a kid, but it was something that I was always sort of progressing towards. Whether I was collecting video games or not, it was always something in the back of my mind.
Right.
But how I started the channel, it sort of come about, I guess it was a turn of fate in my life. I got injured in my career back in 2020, so just before COVID. And I've always been into gym. I've always been into fitness, and that was sort of my release.
Super related with slot cars.
yeah.
Everybody here after session they go straight to the gym.
I saw them last night when they were bench pressing. So that was sort of my outlet, and because I was injured and I was already using slot cars, I thought I'll just turn the camera on because I was home. I wasn't going to work. And it sort of spiraled from there. But if I'm being honest, and I did speak to a couple of people off the cuff yesterday, it was a mental health thing. I love slot cars, but as soon as I turned the camera on, like I said, I was injured. I was in a pretty bad spot mentally. It kind of fixed it all. It gave me a little bit of an outlet to I guess vent and sort of have a bit of normality, and it just snowballed. And I had a lot of messages at the first time, people thanking because of COVID, they're at home, they're watching the channel. So if I'm being quite honest, it all started from a mental health point of view, and I just kept going from there. I just sort of thought, I'm just not going to turn the camera off now. I just keep going, and I've stuck at it. It's hard. We're not the biggest, I wouldn't say we're YouTubers in this space, because compared to Lego, Hot Wheels, Matchbox, they've got their 100,000 plus subscriber channels. Yeah. We will get there, I think. Maybe not me or today's generation.
It's an effort for everybody.
It's the concrete.
You're doing your part,
it's the concrete.
I conquered some subscribers. You do.
Yeah.
Other guys do too.
Correct. And the community is growing weekly. Yeah. Me getting into, I was never a big racer. I haven't won any titles, which you'll see this weekend. But I'm very competitive.
This agenda is changing because you came here. Oh, I've got a podium for sure. That's what you say right here.
No, I didn't. Did you
72 people. I say we have a bet. I think you cannot go lower than 40th place.
Well, we're already under 7 seconds, so I'm happy with that.
7 seconds.
I know this is a segue from what we're talking about. I'm under 7 seconds. I'm 6.8 seconds. So if I can be consistent.
So look, I give you everything. I gave you the good car. I gave you Todd Euler, which is one of our best tuners.
Beautiful car. Beautifully tuned car.
You told me, the car is a little tweak, and I went there and I did a 6.3 with your car, so it's there.
Was this my podcast? was this the Marco podcast?
So the ball is in your court, so I'm just waiting for it. Okay, you have everything. Look. First class tickets. You got dinner. No, it's not. We got dinner. We got a good lodging.
Beautiful Brazilian dinner, by the way. We've been there twice now. You see? So thank you.
You have a studio for you.
Yeah,
I gave you a studio. It's there with lights and everything.
You're going to make everyone think that I've come here on red carpet, which I kind of. No, I've been lucky. But talking about the racing, I will be doing everything I can to try and win. But I've been speaking to Jim and a couple of others out there, and they are quick, man.
They're quick, yeah.
They are quick. But I'm learning, though. I'm learning from them.
Yeah, I think there's a group of 20 people.
It'd be hard to beat. it'd be hard to get into the top 20.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to. I think our wager is under 40. If I get under 40, did you say?
Yeah.
I'll be happy with that. I was happy to go under 7 seconds. But look, I've done a couple of laps. I think I've done 60 laps in total.
You still have 2 hours of free practice.
Free practice today, so I will take it a bit more serious later on. But no, I'm enjoying my time. But yeah, in regards to the slot car, I've got no real behind the.
Mauricio is looking for his phone.
He is looking for his phone.
Search for it.
No,
Come on in, Maurizio.
I have to make it ring. So you mind because it's here.
Good, do it.
So if it's here,
No, ring it, please.
I will interrupt your interview.
Let me try to call.
Hear it ringing.
Let me call.
No, just make it ring
From here?
This is going. This is.
He literally lost his phone.
He has lost his phone. That's mine, so I don't want him to steal mine.
It's mine.
Are you releasing something?
I reckon it might be at the. It might
Are
be.
you calling? Oh!
It's ringing.
Yeah.
There we go.
Look at that.
Oh, he was right about that.
We got it.
If I can say to anyone, if you ever have a
So
chance,
you know how fast he made that thing ring from his computer? So he lost it several times for sure.
he's like it's. I think he's got a beacon on his keys. If I can just say before we continue, if anyone ever meets Maurizio, you have to sit down and have a chat with him. He's a legend.
Yeah.
He's an absolute legend, and he's incredible. And stuff like that is just it's Maurizio.
Yeah, this guy is just like unbelievable. One time, I know that he speaks several languages, but one time we were having dinner at the Nuremberg Toy Fair, and the waitress came and he just started speaking German. Oh, strudel, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, I have little German. He ordered like he was a local, and the woman was just so pleased. Oh yeah,
He's a travelled man. He's travelled.
I think he speaks 5 languages.
But he's very smart.
Yeah.
He's and I'm like I said, I'm very lucky to have 5 days with him, and we've had some really good conversations. And I think I said to you yesterday, he's like an onion. There's just so many. It's almost a Shrek moment. He's incredible. But no, it's been good.
And tomorrow he's going to review a new car.
I know, but you won't tell me what it is. And let me tell you, I'm trying as hard as I can to find out what this car is, and no one's telling me. So
he brought the prototypes. We have the prototypes of the Audi.
Yes, I've seen all those.
The Acura LMP, the Oreca LMP.
Oh, the F1.
The F1,
which
F1's
is
right there.
Which is can I pick it up? Yeah, which is incredible. I'm going to do. I'm going to try and do a spot.
Missing the rear wing.
Missing the rear wing. I think it's with his phone.
Yeah.
But very smart. So I've been looking at this.
It's looking very good.
I will do some videos on some of his protos. Just give me the okay. But I just got to point out the Carrera.
But besides all that, I think that the car he's going to be releasing, which is a new mold.
A new mold. Yeah,
it's
cool.
It's going to be a bestseller here in Europe.
It's very cool.
Here,
yeah, in Europe. Yeah, for sure. But no, yeah. So
what are you talking about? You don't know what it is.
What's this? Oh, I think you're talking about this.
No, talk about the new one.
The new one. No, I wouldn't have a clue what it is. No. I've bribed you.
I've tried to.
I've tried. You've kept the money though.
It's on my desk.
Do we reveal it
right
now?
Here. It's like oh my.
What are you saying? We're going to reveal it now? Are we?
No. We'll ruin everything.
Destroy. There's the weekend done. But no.
Well, this video is going after Mauricio's video.
Maybe.
No. I'm gonna let Maurizio to pick it up. Yeah, no, that's him. It's literally here.
Hold on. I wish this was live. Should we do a vote?
It's here.
I saw it.
It says prototype.
Why is Maurizio out the window?
No, he's not on the window.
Oh, you should have. Is this going after the reveal, this video?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Come on. Let's live on the edge.
Really? We're just going to be pissed.
Maurizio, I didn't decide to do this. Let's do this.
Okay, he's leaving because he's going to pick up some parts for his Mazda. Where is he? He passed that way. Okay. Maybe no, he's leaving. This video is going to go after, so... No?
Even though this isn't live, hit the comments and say,
you keep your eyes.
I'm here.
Okay?
You're going to do it?
Stay at the door.
Oh.
I'm here at the door.
Oh.
You're
kidding me.
It's a freaking 510.
You're kidding me.
The Datsun 510. The first livery is going to be the BRE livery. Peter Brock car. John Morton's car. I've been working with him for almost 8 months on this. This is all his idea. I have nothing to do with it. I just help with get the license with BRE. But look at this. This is coming. It's a new class for Slot.it. It's the Transam 2000.
So can I say, is this a start of new things to come?
Yep. There's more coming.
I've been
I think
hanging
he's gonna,
on to the last.
I'm not sure, but I'm sure he's gonna. I'm not sure about his decision, but logically, he's gonna explore the Alpha, the BMW 2002, the Escort.
to race in the same class.
Yeah. So this is it.
I have to say,
You act surprised tonight, all right?
I will act surprised. I'm in Hollywood, so I'm going to practice my surprise. Should we do it now?
Oh my God, no!
It's a Porsche?
No, you have to step back and put your hand in your heart.
And then faint?
Yeah.
I've got to say, though, now that you've shown this, let's not worry about me. Let's talk about the car. Now, it's probably the most... this is the car I've spoken about the most on the channel that I've been wanting to see in the hobby for a long time. And if I'm being honest, I'm very surprised because, yes, Slot.it has done a GTR ×2, the R35 and the R32, which is JDM. But if you get to speak to Maurizio off the cuff, he loves his Japanese cars. He has an RX-7 at home. Yeah. So I'm not surprised, but I also am. But I think he's going to make a lot of people, including in Australia. It's a very big car in Australia. Very happy, and we are looking over our shoulders because we are I am now nervous.
No, that's because he can't hit us for us.
But if he asks me, have I seen it, I'm going to have to lie to him, aren't I? Maurizio, when you watch this back, I am sorry. I don't want to lie to you, but I'm going to have to just to make sure we stay friends. But no, thank you for doing that. It's
showing off. Yeah.
Oh my God,
I don't know. I don't have a release date. I know that the first lever is going to be the BRE because I was helping with him. I don't know how many levers are going to sell, but I know that in HO there was a huge hit. We still sell the vintage ones that we have here.
Yeah.
And they made like different colors with the BRE scheme and like pinkies.
But you can do street cars as well. And I was actually talking to Maurizio, not about that car, of course, but in general, we do see a lot of race liveries. And I know we are jumping off different topics here.
That's fine.
But we don't really see a lot of just street colour cars, so your everyday colour car. So you could do a random bunch of 6 or 7 colour cars just as an everyday driver, and people will buy it.
Well, I think Slot.it, just like Fly, it's always exploring real liveries.
Yeah.
So if you grab a Slot.it car, you see the name of the car, the race that they race, the drivers.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna keep it that way. But it would be cool. There's a couple of cars like the Nissans, the GTRs that he made.
Yeah.
Those could be street cars.
Of course.
But if you see the DTMs, they cannot be street cars.
No,
because there's a lot of body kit involved.
If it's a genuine race car, well, it wouldn't make sense.
But that class, it's very close to the street car. There's just like the suspension. If you compare the street car and the race car, it's just like a little bit suspension, a little bit of body kit, and that's it.
Just an upgrade, really.
Yeah.
But I wish you warned me about that because now you've thrown me off. Because it's like, I'm just thinking about this life 10 now. All I can say is he's made a lot of people happy. Yeah. Especially in Australia, but I think worldwide it's going to be a hit. And it's funny you've shown me this because just on Thursday when we're having a chat, me and Maurizio, and he's like, what car do you think would be good? And what's the first car I say? You could do a Datsun 5. Oh, no, I don't think.
He was trying to play around.
I don't think it's going to be. You sure about that? I'm like, it'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
No, maybe. No.
And again, this car is so important because it's a new class. Last time he released a new class was DTM.
Yeah.
So they have the classics where you have the Alpha, the GT40, the Matra, the Ferrari 312. Those are classics. And then you have the Group Cs, which is the one that we'll be racing here. We're going to race in the Nationals.
Yeah, in the Nationals.
You have the DTM, you have the LMP, and the GT class, which is the Nissan GTR, the modern one, and the Maserati. Other than that, I don't remember other classes. So this is the sixth class for him.
You know what this is going to start, though? This is going to start a wave of probably other manufacturers to follow, whether it's bigger scale. I mean, of course, I did speak to Maurizio about it.
Well, Revo and BRM, they already have it.
The 510.
Not the 510.
Yeah, I was going to say
the under 2 liter class. With the Alphas, Escorts.
But I think this might start a wave of this car. I hope we see more of it because, of course, in the HO world, it's just been done by Auto World, if I can speak about them, the BRE set. Yeah. I'm excited because it's a wave of new cars. Yeah. And this car will hit the market with Americans, with Europeans, and with Australians. So it's a triple threat car.
And it's an inline, so it's very close to the DTMs.
Yeah.
Of course, the wheelbase is a little shorter.
Yep.
So expect a little bit less of a performance, but still it's pretty cool, their own class.
Come on, it's pretty cool.
And Maurizio also has polycars. So polycar, you have the Formula 1 cars.
Yes.
And the Subarus too, which is not a class because they're kind of toyish, but
they're fast. The home set cars, they're fast though.
They're fast. Yeah.
They are. I think I did a review on the WRX.
And they're in the circle. Maurice is going. He doesn't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's stop talking about that one now, I
Yeah.
think, because he's getting suspicious.
Yeah.
He's pretending
He's staying at the window. I don't know. He's looking for.
Well, he's pretending he's looking for his phone, but he's already found it.
Yeah. He's worried
What
about his
flight
dad.
attendant, Maurizio? But no, thank you for sharing that, and you've thrown me off track now, which is great.
Yeah.
It's very hard to stop me talking, but you have.
But let's keep going about you because I'm very curious.
Yep.
You don't share much about your life, and now we know what bring your personality to the slot car world. And I have to tell you, I started working here just after the pandemic as well.
Yep.
My TV projects were kind of stopped, and then I spoke with Scott that I knew before that because of my racing. I was a hobbyist. And then we started to renovating and change the store.
Yeah.
This was just a warehouse for shipping, and some people come just to pick up some parts.
Yeah.
So we've been changing. We installed a track. We have like a counter. We can get everything. You can get everything. You want to go there and talk to him? You want to double check the cameras and?
That's fine. The camera's fine.
And I've been changing here, and I've been following. I've been learning. I've been following the market.
Yeah.
And I think we have the same thing, learning together about it because we came along at the same time. And I'm positive that the hobby is growing and the sales are growing.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, look, everyone says, is it the second 60s? I wasn't around for that. I wish I was. I think there was more tracks. Of course, there was more tracks back then. Wood tracks.
According to our book,
according
Slot Car Dream by Philippe de Lespinaille. In America, I'm serious about that.
He's a salesman, isn't he?
In America, which is available here at the store. just go to electricdreams.com and search for Lespinaille, the name of the author.
$49.99. And you get a free knife.
$74.99 for the soft cover.
Yeah. I'm sure. Was this my podcast? Have I asked that twice? No.
But according to him, at some point in the late 60s, we have more raceways around the country than Subway restaurants today.
Which is crazy when you think about it.
3,500.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So every single 60-year-old now, he has some sort of a memory on slot cars. If they didn't have, if it was
do you wish you were around at that time? I do, because I think the buzz would have felt amazing. The buzz is amazing now, but I think that would have been epic.
Yeah. If you are a kid in the 60s, you're probably like a very young in the 80s, and you'll be dead by AIDS right now. So I'm avoid.
We got dark pretty quick. But remember, buy that book from Electric Dream.
Yeah, that's not in the book.
That's not in it.
Slot Car Dream by Philippe de Lespinaille, which is available here. No,
what have I got myself into?
I mean, yeah, it must be fun. Like, there's one thing from the 60s that I've tried to do all the research that I can. I don't know if you ever heard about this. It's a club called MISAC.
No.
It was a couple blocks from here, Hawthorne, Inglewood. And they have this huge track, 8-lane wooden track that changed the layout. You could change the layout.
Mechanical flicker.
Wow. Yeah. So you go up to 16 different layouts. Oh, and remember, this is 60s. Like, everything is big. Like the electrical was just like a.
It was like a pinball arm.
Pinball line, and they have this race directing booth close by with air conditioning. People go there to race in suits. There is only 25 members. Each member has a key with the number of the car that they race.
Wow.
We cannot invite people from the outside. You can get in only if somebody gets out and. Their interviews and stuff.
Slot car club.
Yes, it was. And the big thing is they race on Wednesdays.
Okay.
And they went to Riverside Raceway here to see the races. And they work from Sunday to Wednesday to pick up a replica of the car that they just saw racing.
Yeah.
So concourse was the number one thing. Nobody cares about who was racing, who was winning, but the concourse was the thing.
Yeah.
So this club, I have the opportunity to work with Roger Moe on his last days. Roger was one of the founders, and Roger was the one that closed the club.
Okay.
So he got like paperwork, he got memorabilia, trophies, and stuff
still
like
has
that.
it now.
He donated the trophies for the museum. You're gonna see the trophies
I
tomorrow.
haven't been to the museum yet.
Tomorrow. Yeah, that's not the whole other chapter for you.
Oh.
There's 2 tours tomorrow.
Yeah,
we'll be on both. Yeah, I'm gonna
please.
take on the first one, and then you.
Oh, no, driving?
Drive the van with 10 people there.
I'm filming this.
But the whole thing is, the Misa Club was the club to follow, and if you need to pick something from the 60s, not those whole slot car thing, but
Yeah.
to get one night at MISAC to see what the fuck is going on there, that would be cool.
So if you go back to that one time, you'd love to go back.
Yeah.
You could probably remake that though in today's time. You could almost do
It was such an exclusive.
vintage-
It was such an exclusive club. Like it's carpeting, people smoking inside.
Ah,
Not
leather-
is a
leather
good thing, but it's you never
gin on the rocks. bit
kind of
whiskey. Really?
kind of yeah.
No, I didn't know about
Like
that.
they were racing in suits. They were very well dressed.
But I think the image back then, everyone was pretty well dressed compared. I mean, t-shirts and jeans
Yeah,
are normal now.
to
but-
take an airplane. Yeah, everybody was dressed
Yeah,
up.
it
Now
was,
people go in
it was an
pajamas.
event. We treated it as an event. But no, I think I would like to go back. But in regards to is it a second wave? It most definitely is. I think you just have to look at social media now. And like I said before, we've got some great channels. You got Conquest, you got Boons, and I'm going to miss so many people when I name it. You got Track Fans, and you even got makes like even Slot has a channel. You've got a lot of the companies now stepping out into the public, showing off renderings and showing off behind the scenes stuff, which I think is needed. That's a big change.
And that has been changing from 4 years to now.
Yeah, it's a big change.
Even the way that the manufacturers are delivering pictures, it's better now.
Which it's instant now. It's an instant world. But for me now, who's I guess you'll call it a content creator, it's fresh, it's new, and we can kind of present that to a person who might want to buy something in the future. But it's definitely a second wave. Whether it feels the same as the first wave, I don't know. But we are seeing a small explosion.
And I think it's about for people like us to try to raise it back. I think slot cars are much more reliable and much more easier to access right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of it. And it's much easier to put a track on your basement or just a small track in your living room.
I think room's always going to be a problem. But you're right, the quality of the stuff you're getting is next level. And I'm surprised I think I'll get into the 2024 view of the channel next year. But one of the things I'm surprised we haven't seen is an influx of people like myself, who's a die-cast car collector, kind of come across. Because a lot of the cars, I'm looking at your table now, and you can almost pick up any slot car from any make. And they look pretty damn good. It looks like a model car that performs. Yeah. You go back 10 years ago, it wasn't like that. No. You were playing with a slot car. Now it's a model car that performs really well. So I'm surprised we haven't seen an influx of model car collectors come across, even if it's HO, because they, Hot Wheels collector goes, I had this car as a kid, but now I can sort of drive that on my track because they're looking good as well. But my goal for 2024 is to try and bring the other hobbyists across to our hobby because it's huge, mate. Yeah. The dissection of what we can do in our hobby is probably the most broadest hobby out there. You got RC racing, which is RC racing, but we've got avenues there's new avenues popping up all the time now when it comes to the slot car world. So we're very lucky, but I think the time is right to do what we're doing. And I think we're putting down the foundation for the next generation that decides to jump in front of a camera. And I think they'll see more success when it comes to viewership. But we have to do the hard work now, which I'm proud to be a part of that. But, here we are in LA. That's all I can say. Here we are in LA. So.
You were in the UK a couple months ago for the festival. That was big too.
Cool. That's where we had our first hug.
Hug.
We had our first
hug.
Our first brand.
In Australia is hug. See that? Oh God!
Don't try doing Australian.
No, I can't.
Come on.
I can barely speak English. Come on.
That's true.
By the way, I don't know if anybody was watching this because this is impossible to understand.
Yeah. There's a non-English speaking Australian.
By the way, let me ask you something here for everybody who's watching, like 5 people probably. Stop sending me voice messages. I can't understand shit.
Do you not understand?
I can't understand shit.
Is that why you were late picking me up?
Please write it. I'm good at reading.
You honestly can't understand?
I like half of it. Half of it.
And I was at the airport for 3 hours.
Yeah, there you go. No, and the other problem is I get pissed with him too because sometimes I'm driving and I have to play that thing and doesn't get to my sound system. And it interrupts my music, and I can't come back to the music. So it's something that's just write it. Just write it. Yeah. All
right. I'll next time I come to LA, I'll remember that. Okay. But no, it's really cool. It's surreal, man. I'm lucky, like I said. Without people who watch the channel, whether it's mine or others, this wouldn't have happened 2 years ago because I don't think the hobby was big enough. But now I'm lucky. No pressure.
No, but I think it's part of my job to identify the cool guys and try to talk to them.
Yeah. But you're doing it.
And bring them here. I invited several. I don't want to take your credit off. I think you're one of the top ones. And pretty much the most charismatic one. So that's the kind of people that we want to do business with.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, you are.
I don't think any hobby I chose.
And I don't know how you could be a cop with this, like laughing at people all the time. Yeah, like your driver's like, what the fuck is going on?
No.
You're driving this piece of shit car.
Well, I think I approach, mate. What you see is what you get, and it's been really nice. I've met people now in real life through a camera. I guess you can display whatever image you want, but I've always tried to keep it real. Of course, the P's and Q's. I mean, behind the camera we speak a lot, and it does get a lot raw. But I try and show. I mean, whether I was doing any job or any channel, I don't think I'll change how I am. Yeah. But yeah, I think you're right. We've got to bring some fun to it. But you are seeing any new channel, and let me tell people who are watching, and I hope you do watch, if you want to start a channel or any content about slot cars, do it. Yeah. And I know a lot of people say whether it's good or bad content, at the start, just do it, because it's going to help the hobby grow and be yourself, and then you will just evolve. But
find your way,
rhythm.
yeah?
Find your rhythm. And but now I'm happy doing it at the moment, mate.
How long have you been a cop?
You want to go deep?
Let's change the subject.
Okay, yeah. So because I do overcross a bit. So I wasn't always 27.
27 years?
No, I was 27 when I joined. So I'm almost 40 now. We're giving away a lot of secrets here.
What have you done before that?
Everything, mate.
Really?
Everything and anything, yeah. I wasn't very good at school. Please stay in school if you're watching this. I wasn't very good at school, but I worked as a very young, as a teenager. I had a job when I was 13. Going to school, I still had a job. I woke up in the mornings.
That's all in Melbourne?
In Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, I used to wake up at, I believe it was me and my brother, 3:30 in the morning. We used to run to...
Melbourne's the East Coast, right?
South.
South.
I had to do me soggy Weet-Bix then.
Okay.
From a young age, I did pretty much any job, just not to survive, but we weren't a rich family.
Melbourne Olympics was
56, isn't it odd, even years?
No, but there was
It was the 50s. I actually went to Olympic Village, which is a school where they housed all the Olympians.
There was not the one on the 90s and 2000s?
No, we had Commonwealth.
Sydney.
That was 2000.
2000.
Sydney Olympics 2000. Did you go there?
Yeah, I ran track.
You ran track?
Yeah, I ran track.
Oh, I gotta see these photos. Jeez. Did you really? I'm not shaming you or anything.
No, okay.
No, it was 12. Just went on 12 years. Only recently finished.
Okay.
And I guess if you want to go raw.
Yeah, I'm curious about it, if you don't mind sharing.
No, look, I won't go into too many details about some of the stuff because I honestly can't. But I was injured in the job, and that's what I said to you originally, and that's when I turned the camera on because I was struggling mentally. And I had a passion for slot cars, and just before I got injured, I was sort of debating about doing...
Can I ask what kind of injury?
Right shoulder. So I did a pretty bad right shoulder, which took me out of the gym. It took me out of work for a while. I've done gym since I was a kid. I know you can't tell now. I'm rocking the dad bod, but and that was sort of my gym, my release. But before I got injured, I was always searching forever on YouTube slot car stuff. And there was a lot of stuff popping up with the big hits, like whether someone made this incredible massive track and had 12 million views. But it wasn't the stuff that I wanted to watch. And I thought, well, I'll just have a crack at maybe doing a review. And if you go back and look at my early stuff, which my later stuff isn't the greatest either, it was pretty raw. But
I like the little shed that you have in the back and little display cases and a track that goes all around the shed.
Did you say little shed?
No, it was a big one, right? Yeah, it was big.
It's big in
there was like a car elevator and a Volvo hanging out. And
what's with the Volvo?
Nothing. I'm just telling what I remember.
There's a couple of jabs.
And I remember that you're trying to do different layouts of the track, and the track was huge in the corner going around.
Yeah. And it was hard going.
And they have like displays, showing displays. So this guy's trying to open a store. What the fuck's going on?
Why do you think I'm here?
Okay.
I'm taking notes. You've seen me walking around.
That's fine.
I'm like a WorkSafe inspector.
Let's open.
But I will segue off to the slot shed soon because we are going back to that. We're actually going back to Australia.
So you have a plan for this story.
Not a store.
No. The story that you're telling. You have a plan.
I don't. I look. If you watch the channel, I don't have any structure. I keep stuff as close as structure as I can, but I do go off Like if there's a possum that went past right now, you'd lose me. You probably think, what's a possum? Like a squirrel.
Oh, I know.
You know what a possum is? Okay. So now I got injured. I couldn't find the stuff that I wanted to watch, so I turned the camera on. And if I'm being honest, mate, it helped me. Starting the channel helped me through a really, really tough time. And I was speaking to a couple of guys yesterday about mental health, and as being men, and the reason I'm bringing this up in my chat is I don't think we speak about it enough. And I'm still affected by mental health now. We've got so many people walking past.
Yeah, they walk past.
That's the pretty much the nuts and bolts of it. That's the balls of the operation. I started when I was injured, and I did return back to work whilst I started the channel, and there's a little bit of to and fro there because I had to get permission to do the channel. Being a police officer in Australia is a lot different to other countries. You're not meant to be in the public forum. We don't wear a uniform home. We didn't, take our weapons home and stuff. It's very different to, I guess, America and a couple other countries. So I still did the channel, and I really did struggle with mental health for a long time. And if I'm being honest,
is that a trauma from the injury?
No, I don't think I realised before the injury. The injury was just an accident. Unfortunately, I got injured.
Like a car crash, or
no, an arrest. And it was the way I was doing the job. It just unfortunately.
How many people do you arrest in Melbourne a day?
A lot of people ask me that.
It's an average.
I honestly can't speak too much about the nuts and bolts of that.
Average. I can search online. Average.
Mate,
how many people get arrested?
It's a daily thing. It's a daily occurrence.
Is that that busy?
Of course it is. I guess you would look in any country, because we're living a normal civilian day-to-day life like I am now. You don't see the other side. You only see what you see during the day. But as the brothers and sisters in the blue, their day-to-day life, what they see is completely different. You'd be surprised what happens on a regular basis in any country.
Yeah.
But no, Melbourne was extremely busy. Extremely busy. Not as much on TV as I think other countries. It's very private. But again, I can't go too deep into the job itself because that's a private thing that not that I don't want to talk about. You kind of can't. It's very secretive when it comes to that side of it. But saying that I was a cop, I'm happy to say that. I got injured, and it did help me through a tough time. And unfortunately, mental health really crept up on me, and I still struggle now. I had a really bad year last year. We'll probably talk about Austria very soon. Sorry if this is getting all soppy, but you've asked the question.
No, I'm taking notes. Okay.
And this is the reason why the channel is still going, and the main reason for the channel is most definitely mental health. And I went back to work, and then I was really, really struggling with stuff that's happened during the job. It's called PTSD. It's really big in Australia. And I guess in that line of work, whether it's army or police, and there'd be people watching now that'd be struggling with it. And there'd be people in our hobby, like I guarantee you started the hobby to help with whatever they're going through in their life. So I think a big thing with a hobby, and if you are struggling at home, I recommend start any hobby, whether it's slot cars or collecting. It really does help. It's a medicine, and it did help me. I still have my days now. Of course, I have medication. I try but I talk about it a lot more, and I don't really touch on it on my channel because I try and keep it solely promoting the hobby. But I think in this situation right now, it's very important because we lose, and I'll talk about the brothers because being a male, I don't know how a female feels when they go through depression or anxiety, but I know how a male feels, and we don't talk about it. So I'm glad and we spoke about this before I went on camera.
Yep.
It is raw, but if you are struggling, of course, talk about it. And I hope my channel has helped. And I still struggle now, but you'll probably see me talk more about it in the future. But that was the nuts and bolts behind the camera, just to help me through a really tough time.
So some sort of therapy. You find your own therapy. You
find your own therapy. And fortunately for me, the community pretty much on a whole has accepted the channel. And without their support, mate, I probably wouldn't be as happy.
Yeah.
And B, I wouldn't be here, as in physically in LA. So I do thank everyone who watched. But yeah, it's a mental health thing.
But the fact that you're here is just because you're doing a great job promoting slot cars. It's not like well, first of all, I'm gonna use you as help because you're gonna be reporting live.
Can I look at the microphone?
You're gonna be reporting live.
Racing.
And racing.
You're really stretching me this weekend, aren't you?
Yeah. See, I'm getting my pennies back.
You're gonna make your pennies back. Cool microphone, though.
That's one thing. And second one, as a store, as a retailer, I think we should get way closer to the guys who are doing the effort to make it happen.
Yeah.
And I wish you could grow more and more, and not only stores but manufacturers see the work that you're doing and start to make money out of it. not winning money only out of views on YouTube, but you should be getting promoted and getting sponsored by everybody.
Look, I think if you go into the hobby...
I see that you have Magnetic Racing.
Which
good guys, Ian Dog.
And I will talk about them.
Have you seen their channel? It's the coolest channel.
It is.
Those two together. Jesus, man. The races that they narrate.
They were.
I wish they live here. I wish they live here.
You love them,
I love them. Yeah.
Mate, I had a ball. I know I'm in LA now, and I should be talking about LA, but I had a ball in the UK with them.
Yeah, they took it to Williams. They took it to Williams HQ to see the collection.
Are you still angry about that?
Yeah, I'm still not jealous and angry.
I'm sure we invited you.
First thing that I said to Ian when I saw him in the UK, he was there in the booth. I said, "How the fuck you took that Australian to Williams and never invited me?"
Hey, it's who you know, not what you know. No, look. So me going into this, it was never about money, and it's still not. If it's a full disclosure podcast, you don't make much money from YouTube. I think every 1,000 views, it's $3. Okay. So you don't. It's not a money thing. You potentially can, but I do agree with you when it comes to companies, and I've been very fortunate. And the amount of emails that I send out regularly that don't probably get read, and the amount of no's that I get, I still get some yeses, but you have to. I have to send those emails out monthly, and I've been doing this 2.5, 3 years, and there's still companies I haven't yet reviewed for, which I'm grateful for the ones that I have, which is most of them now. But you still get the knockbacks, and that will change in time because this is a platform now that these hobbies should be using as a tool. It's, and again, it's not a money thing because if you go into this thinking you're going to make millions or you want to make money, it's probably the wrong attitude, anyways. But I'm doing my best. I've reached out to a fair few. I've got a car on the way. I'm making a little car. I think I spoke
Talk about it.
Yes. I thought I'd put my money where my mouth is and invest in doing a special run car of the HO size, which I think people might be surprised about. And this is not a buy it, sell it thing because it's...
You can do it.
No, it's not. No, I don't sell. No. There'll be 30.
Talk about the price. Talk when it's going to be available.
No,
where
so
it's going to be available. What's the brand? What's the car?
No, so me and Bauer, I was very impressed.
Those are the very impressive German HO cars, right?
Beautiful. And I was very cautious of what I chose and who it's a brand thing. You want to make sure that you're representing something that you believe in. And most of the stuff I have on my channel, I do get some stuff sent sometimes just to review. And if it's not good, I do give feedback. But it's very hard to find something really bad now, which is great for everybody. But when I was going to put my name on something, I wanted to make sure that I chose something that I actually liked. I do love HO. I love every scale. And a lot of people might think that I just choose that wording because I'm trying to promote the hobby. I honestly love all the scales, but got a soft spot for HO. So Bao and I spoke. They sent me a review car. I looked at their product. Oh, my God, it was incredible. And then I said to him, hey, can we do something together? I want to try and make a car for the channel so people can... I'm not very good when it comes to memberships or Patreon or behind the scenes stuff. I'm not very good at that. I should get better. But in regards to something, if they want to financially buy something, they're going to get something back physically, whether they race it or collect it. That's something that I can give back to them. So there is going to be 30 that I'm having. There's going to be 100 in total because Barra actually wanted some of them for themselves to sell. They've already, I believe... and I don't get the money from that. I've only purchased 30. Pricing, I can't speak about yet because I honestly don't know. It is being in the works. I've showed you some photos of some prototype stuff that we're doing on it. Mm-hmm. It is a Porsche. Everyone knows
it's a Porsche.
It's a Porsche.
911.
It's a 2.0. Yeah. I won't really. No, I actually I have showed a picture of it. I won't mention it yet though. I'll keep that for a surprise. I know you've shown.
Go to your channel.
It's again. It's a www. No. It's a.
Go for it.
It's a no. I'm not like that. But there will be 30. I'm keeping number 1 at the moment because I want a bit of memorabilia. But once it's ready for a sale, I'll let everyone know. And it's something that I thought I'll do because I believe in Bauer. At the moment, it's a one-off thing. I don't work for Bauer, but they were happy to do it. Yeah. But once there's more information, I'll let everyone know. So stay tuned. It's
very nice.
It's coming. Nice. No, I've been lucky.
It's gonna have that slot car logo on top of it, or no?
I should talk about the design. It's gonna be where it normally says Carrera. Down the side of the Porsche. It's going to have that slot car guy.
Nice.
Yes. And that was a joint idea between...
So it's RSR.
RSR, yeah. Okay. I think it's the 2.8, I think it was. I can't remember the exact model off by
but it's a vintage. A
vintage, 1976 or something.
You're going to see one of those in real life tomorrow.
I know. I'm bracing.
Oh, you're going to.
I know.
A green one.
A green one, really cool.
Yeah.
This is a gift that keeps giving. It's going to have Carrera, where it says Carrera as in that slot car guy. It is satin matte black, because a matte black on a car is very hard to do, which I'm learning a lot from this, which is why I wanted to do it.
Cool.
So I understood the cost of a car, and I guess the process of what it takes to make, and how many you actually need to make to get a car off the ground. So for me, it's an expensive learning curve, but I think I really need to do that. So when I am talking about stuff in the future, I'm actually buying some knowledge here as well. So it's a satin black, not a full satin. I think it's a semi-satin, so it comes out nicely. It's got gold lettering down the side. We're using some gold deep dish rim. We are discussing if we're going to do full gold with a chrome lip or something. So we're still discussing that. Bauer have been incredible.
Nipples, okay.
Yeah, and it's going to have TSCG number plates, I believe 1 to 30. Because that's and then it goes from 31 to 100, which is then the same car, but that's for Bauer which I think, like I said, I think they've already.
So the hot ones is the 01 to 30.
1 to 30 is going to be the hot ones. I can't sign them. I wanted to, but they have to be sent to me and then sent back, which is then the cost that we have to be passed on to the. So if you do want one, if people, I've had some requests already to have it signed. I can't because I won't physically have them. But if you do want it signed, if you do buy one, send it
Let's
to me.
sell here.
Send you back. Huh?
Let's sell here. Let's sell some here.
Do you want
some here?
Do you want some here? Do you?
Yeah. Why not? I've been trying to talk to
we
Bauer.
spoke about first class.
I've been trying to talk to Bauer. I don't remember the name of the gentleman in Germany, but I remember Chris here in America, who is the representative.
Yeah, there's a very big American.
I've been trying to get Bauer to have it here, but
is that why you brought me over?
Yeah, they're very protective. Oh, that's okay.
They only work with the best, mate. no, I see.
Okay, thank you.
Is that me done? Where's my car? Where's my car?
Yeah. Where's your luggage?
Where's my luggage?
Your passport?
Where's my passport? Where's my? No, definitely speak to him. And again, I do a lot of disclaimers. Of course, I don't work for him, but I did choose to do a car with them. But magnetic racing. Coming here, it was a really good. Instead of sort of just promoting me, I thought, some people have really helped the channel. SRC, as you know, I've done a lot of work with SRC.
Deville and Mark Antonio. Over there. Have you been there?
No.
Oh my God.
No, I'm trying to, but,
so cool,
but we go home in October.
It's one of the coolest factories. Oh. They do all there in Alicante, and they have like a couple of other factories that make the molds around.
Yes.
It's in a radius of like 5 blocks. They have the whole car done.
I don't think people understand. I know the background to it all, but it's a very small operation, but it's so professional.
It's not small.
Well, their factory is though, isn't it? The workers on. How many work there now?
15, I think.
Oh wow, so now
yeah.
Oh, so I have to go there then.
Yeah,
I have to update my knowledge.
It's a 2-story building full of. It's cool.
They're no good.
They have a nice showroom in front of it.
Oh wow!
And when I went there, Mark Antonio, who is the main manager.
Yeah.
He took me to see the other factories, the mold making and
which I think they've shared some videos, which I have as well now, of sort of behind the process of that. But look, SRC have supported me in the Instagram days before I did YouTube. I took a lot of photographs of toy cars and slot cars, and they've always supported me. They've always sent items to review. So without their support, I don't think the channel would have been where it is now. Magnetic Racing, they jumped on board when they knew I was coming over.
Ian,
they're incredible. And again, I'm not.
And they make such a good couple, right?
They do make a good couple. They do. They're gonna hate. They are going to hate us after this.
Yeah, we can cut to here. Just make up we had. They do. That's it.
We're done.
End the video.
No, they were really good. So they jumped on board to support. So I'm going to be wearing their shirt, which I am now. Whilst I'm racing, because it was another avenue for me to show off another brand. It's not just about me coming, and I did say to you, I asked permission, can I try and help other brands whilst I'm here? Of course, Slot.it. I mean, this is incredible, and then you guys, but everyone's been good, mate. NSR, BRM, the list goes on. Carrera, Scalatric, the majority of companies have been incredible, and it's.
I'm glad they are awake about this movement.
It takes time, but I think it's a movement, and it's not just me. I'm not in charge of this. It's every other content creator who's doing it has made companies wake up and go, hold on, this is an avenue. This is getting out to the population. Yeah. No, so I've been lucky, but Magnetic Racing, they're really cool. They jumped on board and said, look, we'll help you out.
You haven't touched your water.
What's that?
You haven't touched your water.
Because you won't let me stop talking.
I'm drunk too.
I've got a Celsius, but I don't know if I should put it on camera.
No.
They might demonetize your camera.
So
what else do you want to know, mate?
What are you
My plane's waiting. No.
before the race? What are we expecting about the race? I see that you have your badge on.
Mate,
You don't need to have your badge on today, but tomorrow and Sunday, yes.
Yeah, I wore it in. I wore it proudly, mate. I'm nervous. You know I'm nervous because I have...
When I talk about you, about the whole event, what do you think about the whole event? It's pretty cool, right? Like today's 8 a.m. there was like 30 people here around the truck. Yeah.
I was late. Mate, yesterday was epic. Yesterday was flat out. But you are running
Thursday.
a big ship.
3 days before the race, there was
People
like
still
50
here.
people here.
You had the national, you had Channel 5 here, didn't you, on Tuesday?
Yeah, KTLA is a classic Gail Anderson.
Can I interview you? I should be interviewing you.
There you go.
So,
There you go. No, but the
when were you
the KTLA, so for you have an idea, the badge that you have there.
Yeah.
And it was a very important move because there's 2 reasons for that to happen. First, 3 reasons. First, we can identify the racers.
Yeah.
And if you're not a racer and you're here, you're going to have one that says paddock pass.
Yeah.
Which you will be selling it. And we're selling it, and people are accusing us to try to make money out of it, but we're not. Because the price that we're selling it is cheaper than the price to make it a thing.
They're pretty good.
So
and on the back, it's
very bad business model, but I'm going to explain why. First of all, we need to close the doors. Like, we cannot have 100 people here. Just watching because the space is limited.
Yeah, of course.
And it's a serious race. People are taking this very serious. So the last thing I want is somebody who is an advice putting something on the track during the race.
Ruins their lap or... Yeah, of course.
No, or ruins the race.
It ruins the race, yeah.
We had the swap meet here a couple months ago, and we did have 300 people around.
Wow.
So if you have that amount of people, remember, we have 72 racers plus staff.
Yeah.
So if you have like over...
Almost 500 people.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a slot car race, though.
That's a lot for a slot car. So we decided to sell.
No pressure, though. No.
So we're going to fence it up, and we're going to sell those things. And, of course, I send those paddock passes to some people that I want to be here.
Yeah.
And people that I want to interview later, and important people to the automotive industry.
Which helps the hobby in general.
There you go.
Definitely helps the hobby in general.
And KTLA Channel 5, which is the most popular channel here in LA, they got one badge and said, look, what's going on? They got me more information. They came here on Tuesday to promote. Cool. That's pretty cool.
I wish I was here, man.
Yeah.
It was cool. I watched it. You sent me the link.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
So
she was cool. She was cool.
So that's all part of the strategy to make the hub bigger, to make the event more important.
I think the end game, all of us we've got the same vision. We just want it to be as big as it should be.
Yeah.
And it can be bigger than this, and it should be bigger than this. And I think I've said that from day one. I'm being biased now, it's probably the best hobby to get into, but it should be bigger. So, mate, and I did say to you, the first thing when I walked in here, my head fell off because I just went, and I did say to you, how do I compete against? We're all there together. I said, I know that.
There's no competition.
Your lighting's perfect. Your micro, I'm like, this is, it's like a...
Well, we try. We both, me and Carlos, we both have background on television, so... So television picture. I was a graphic designer for 10 years.
It's if anyone's come, it is awesome. But no, look, at the end of the day, it's I think we've got the same image. We want to promote slot cars, but yeah, there you go.
Are you happy to be here?
Happy, mate. Happy.
We're very happy to have you here.
You got me at the right time because I'm going back to Australia. So you've just got me at the right time.
Yeah.
We are leaving Europe.
Moving in Europe.
To
be in Europe was a little bit good for you because you got closer to Carrera and other...
It was a double-edged sword.
Even Bauer.
Even Bauer. Well, of course. And again, those relationships were built because I've sent emails to them and requests, and a lot get knocked back. But that wasn't the main purpose. We left because of mental health. I was struggling a bit in Australia, and we needed some, family help. So we moved over to Europe. But it's been a blessing in disguise, man. It's been.
But your wife's family's from Europe, right?
She's Austrian. Yeah, my wife. I'm very lucky. She allows me to do slot cars. If you're watching, babe, which I know you're not, thank you. I know you're not watching, but thank you. I love you.
And the kid's 5 years old.
The kid.
What's the kid? I forgot about the kid. Right?
Who's the kid? It's my son. Yes, that's slot car kid.
What's his name?
Slot car kid. I love it. I love it.
Hey, no, he's made some.
That's slot car.
He's made some cameos.
He's a channel.
And let me tell you will see him a lot more when we're back in Australia.
What's his name?
Parker.
He's
awesome. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, that's slot car kid.
That's awesome.
And he calls himself that now. I said to my wife. I said to my wife, "Can you be that slot car girl?" She's like, "No." I go, what do you mean? We're not the slot car family.
There's
now.
not a third.
But I will try and introduce
Then
him.
he points to the dog. That's our car dog.
That's all. The dog's like,
No.
What do you mean? That's not car cat. No. So no, he'll make some cameos, and no, he's loving it. I mean, his dad's bringing him to
Does he enjoy the slot cars too?
He loves everything, mate. He loves Lego. He loves everything. He's at that age now where it's exciting because I can race with him when I have a permanent track. But now you'll see him a fair bit. And no, he loves the hobby. But it's good because now I can sort of pass that on to my younger generation.
Yeah.
And that is the goal. And we're going to meet some pretty special people today. If I'm allowed to mention a young lady, Sasha, she's got a channel as well. With
She's coming here.
DNA, please.
What's the name of her father?
Well, it's DNA Slot Cars.
No, I know, but her father, Sasha's father, what's his name?
Oh, it's hard to pronounce. Sorry, mate, if you're watching.
Yeah, let me see.
He's going to check it out.
Yeah, well, cut this part, please.
But you know, Sasha, I believe she's 8.
She's 8, yeah. She'll be here. They're coming from Texas just to watch the race.
They're flown from Texas to race, and that's the generation, mate. That's what we need to.
They're not racing. They're coming just watch.
To watch, yeah. But that's where it starts.
Yeah.
And she's excited, and I'm wrapped to. I get to meet them. I'm very excited to meet the DNA channel, especially Sash, because I think that is the future, man. That is the future. So if there's any young people watching, take it from her. She's got a channel. Yeah, but is it different spelling though?
Yeah, the channel says Daiti and Sasha.
Yeah.
But his name is David.
Yeah.
Maybe a nickname or I don't know. But they're coming.
They're coming, and that's the future. And so I can't wait to meet them. I think they're here today.
Actually, we need to prepare like a small gift package for her.
And don't try and take away my idea. No, I think you should, and that is the future. That is an 8-year-old. Who wants to start a channel around slot cars. It's incredible. So it's really cool.
Man, again, thank you very much for coming. It's from the bottom of my heart. I know it's a long trip. I take that trip a couple times a year. So I'm glad that you're here. I hope you have fun at the race.
I will.
I hope you have fun tomorrow at the museum. There's not only museum, it's like a 50-car collection.
Well, I'm allowed to film. You said I'm allowed to film whilst I'm here.
Do whatever you want.
So check the channel out. I'm going to try and do some behind-the-scenes stuff.
Do whatever you want. And on Monday morning, I've tried to run at least 3 or 4 like LA classical places that you can
watch
take
the
a
news. You might say it's on the news.
The news, you missed the news, but the news.
Is that trap driving? No, it's Marco.
It's a yellow van.
What's a yellow van? Electric Dreams. He'll do anything for promotion.
But thank you again. From our heart, I know that it was a tough trip, and I hope you enjoy everything.
Mate,
every minute here.
If I can say thank you to yourself, Electric Dreams, Slot.it, and Magnetic Racing. Without you guys, I wouldn't have come, and the viewers. Cheers.
See you at the track then.
See you, mate.